Teyana Taylor did her thing. Hey guys, what's going on? Just trying to fix up the microphone here. There we go. All right, perfect. Welcome back to the Midnight Cinema. It's your boy Midnight coming to you live, and I want to discuss a movie that I just saw the other day, 1001 with Teyana Taylor, directed by A.V. Rockwell. This movie. Well, let me give you a little bit of background. The first movie I saw Teyana Taylor in was Medea's Big Happy Family, and oh boy, that is my least favorite Tyler Perry film. I swear to goodness, I just found her character very annoying. I know that was the purpose of the character, but it was just so much, and I was like, I can't. After that, the next thing I saw her in was The Trap, where she played up that like ghetto ratchet annoying chick, and it was funny. I'm not gonna lie. It was funny. It was definitely funny. And then I saw her after that in Coming to America 2. Didn't care for the movie overall, but I did like her in it. She had she really leaned into the silliness, and I loved it. I loved her in it. So now I'm with 1001. This is like full dramatic turn. See her range and everything, and nah, she did that. It's just so catch you up from the story. The story is about this Inez. She was incarcerated for a year and a half, and when she gets out, she goes back to doing hair, and she sees this kid that she had kind of taken notice of for a while, ever since she was younger, before she went inside. And eventually one day she's like, she starts to really take to him after he gets hurt, and just takes him under her care and just looks after him, becomes his mother, essentially. And we see her raise him throughout his life all the way till he's 17, 18. And we see all the changes that go on through New York City during that time. So the time period of the movie is from 1994 to 2005. And the thing is that I must say as well, that I liked about the overall story was just the fact that you could see those times changing, that evolution. I loved the cinematography and how when you got a lot of the wide establishing shots, it was supposed to look like that gritty, give it that gritty 90s look, that grunge 90s look, like in New York City. It really kind of honed in on the dirt of New York City, right? The underbelly of New York City. Not so much like the criminal element, but just like the day-to-day struggle of New York City. And you get to hear some of the different music from back then, which was really cool to hear. It made me like the cinematography actually made me want to see more. I've never been to New York City, but I would definitely love it. I've been to New York, just not the city. And I would love to see so much of the city. Honestly, it's amazing. Another thing that they touched on was the strictness of laws back then, and how like police were just pulling guys over, like didn't even have. You could just be walking down the street, minding your business, and they're just pulling you up. Hey, like Rudy Giuliani, the mayor back then, just the laws were tight. And I mean, anything. Just they even talked about jaywalking and how jaywalking could result in you getting some serious time. I'm like, geez, man, I understand that you're trying to keep crime down, but hold on now. There's some things that's reasonable to slap people with some hard time for, and there are other things that's just over the top completely. Another thing that they touched on was the gentrification and how like people had to be moved out of different neighborhoods, and how rent was difficult to pay for after a while, people buying up buildings and then neighbors having to move, and Inez's struggle trying to keep a place for her and the kid Terry. and just trying to keep them together throughout the constant moves. And she was looking for different jobs. She loved doing hair, but eventually it got to a point where she had to put it on hold and work for a Jamaican cleaning service, which she did. And then she gets a bigger apartment for them after they leave this other lady's crib. The aunt in here, I forgot the actress's name, but I loved her. The one who plays Aunt Kim, who is Inez's best friend, who becomes like the aunt to Terry. She's amazing. She's so sweet. And like I loved how when they got with certain low shots that they took in the movie, and they got the tightness on the character, kind of showed the size of New York City, but not even just the size of those close shots, just the situation that they're in seems to be so big, and they're this kind of like they're just so, it's almost claustrophobic in a way, like all this pressure is on you to exceed expectations, but it's so hard with a broken system and a broken home, and it's like this recipe for generational disaster. And Inez, she tells Terry as he's getting older, at some point when he's wants to go, he doesn't necessarily want to go to a better school. A teacher says that he would be better at a different school. And that scene. Okay, I had to touch on this too. So with the teacher, she said to Inez, and it caught me so off guard. I was like, wow, it's just blatant racist in your face. She's like, wow, I didn't expect she didn't expect for her to be so articulate and so involved in his life. And I remember I was sitting right there as it was going on, and I'm just like, wow, she really said that. That's crazy. And knowing Inez and how quick she could fly off the handle, it's almost like you're kind of in your head saying, don't do it. But she just chills back. She's so calm. Like she just takes it on the chin. No problem. Sweats it off. And it was like she's doing everything she can. I mean, she's struggling. She can eviscerate Terry pretty badly. I mean, like there's times where you can pretty much say there's some verbal abuse. Not even so much verbal abuse. It's just, there's certain ways that you talk to children. There are certain ways that you should talk to children. You know what I mean? And points where she's like, well, what about me? Well, what about the things that I'm trying to do? And you can see part of her selfishness, but throughout the movie, she sacrifices so much of what she wants to do just to make sure that Terry's okay. And the overall, another overarching theme that I love is the fact that it's honing in on wanting better for the future, because the past brought so little opportunity and so much suffering, and Inez's character is like, Inez, she's like, well, there are different things that she wishes she was able to do back then, like go to a certain school like Terry did and have the kind of guidance that Terry has now. And she even talks about like how she slept with 1,000 guys, and it just happened to be one where Terry popped out. That's one of the I think where the title came from, 1,001. That's one version of it, because she was exaggerating about that. Like these doing things over like up to 1,000 times, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's something different. There's a change in the frequency, and now I have to start doing things a little differently. Even though I've been doing this 1,000 times, now all of a sudden something's changed. Now I gotta adapt with the change, And the other thing was that their address actually was 1,001 when they get to that new apartment that she's able to get, which is great. So yeah, I love the music. I think my only problem with the movie was I just felt like it was a little too long, just a tad bit, maybe like 10 minutes. But you're invested in it the entire way through. I was never bored the whole time. It was just like, darn, man, it's kind of long. It's only, and the thing is, it's the pacing, I believe, because you can have a 2.5 hour movie that doesn't even feel like 2.5 hours, But I think it was kind of the pacing of it. But like I said, I never felt bored with it. I did feel like maybe there was a couple things that could have just been cut down a little bit on, or expanded on certain aspects. I would have liked to have seen the guy that she ends up with, the guy that's in jail at the time that comes out, Lucky, who I would have liked to have seen more of him and Terry, their relationship dynamic, because at some point Terry's like, I want a father. Like, I need a dad. Can't just have you. And and they have a falling out. Inez and Lucky, they have a falling out at one point. And at some point they come back together and things start to get worked out. But then there's just so much that's going on with Lucky's character after a while. And it's heartbreaking, honestly. But I would have liked to have seen more of him taking that fatherly approach. I mean, we see bits of it. We definitely do. And the bits that we get, they're solid. They're very solid. I just wish we could have got just a little bit more. Another thing that I really liked was, just like, I guess the showcasing of the, how am I going to put this? Not the showcasing of the apartments, but just like all the different problems that they were having consistently with that apartment, and then meeting the landlord who bought the place up, and he's trying to make his buck. And it's like, at first, when they first meet up, you think that he's pretty cool. Then at some point, it's like, whoa, dude, you got to calm down a little bit. Like, he doesn't raise his voice, but he comes off like a jerk. And it's like, that's not even how things are supposed to be. Like, you're not in my situation. I'm frustrated because I got all this falling apart, and you're sleeping comfortably elsewhere, and you're telling me to calm down. I'm trying to stay calm. I've been trying to be calm this whole time. I can't be calm if there's a leak in the roof, the cabinet's falling apart, the sink doesn't work. Like, it's just a whole lot going on. I'm like, don't tell me to calm down. No. But yeah, no, I really like this movie. I think everybody should go see this. I think Teyana Taylor gave a hell of a performance. I'd love to see her do more dramatic stuff and take on different roles. I really liked her, and this her overall arc as well. It's like she starts off like you like her a bit, then there's a point. She has so many different periods where it's like you like her, then it's like, oh, you like her, it's like, then you love her. It's like, whoa, like, hold on. There's a twist in here at some point that I saw coming, sort of, kind of. But like Space Monster, I'm calling you out, bro, because I know you watched the trailer reaction for this and you commented on it. I think that you might have been right, but we talked about in the trailer reaction. That's all I'm going to say. There's a twist here that takes place, and it works. I'm not going to lie. It works. It's not crazy, but it works to me. There was one more thing I wanted to share with you guys about the movie overall, because there's so much to unpack here without like jumping into so many spoilers. I want you guys to go see this and enjoy it. You know what I mean? But there's the ever-changing system, the education system. Talked about that. Man, wow! I think I might have covered everything. I can't really think of anything. I had something, and now I can't remember it, but it's all good. Don't worry about it, guys. Oh yes. I'm going to give this a 3.8 out of 5 full moons. 3.8 out of 5 full moons. That's right. You know what? Actually, no. I'm going to give it a 4. Screw that. I'm going to give it a 4. Just Teyana Taylor's performance alone. Like I said, there's so many things in this movie that I like that work. It's hard to not like this movie. So yeah, 4 out of 5 full moons. Come on now. Let's not be cheap here. But guys, please let me know what you all think. Go see this movie when you have a chance. I think it's really good. I think that you'll love Teyana Taylor in it. She did her thing. The themes work. A.V. Rockwell, at some point, please, I want to work with you. I love your direction. I would love to work with you. Please find this video and contact me, or I'll contact you. We'll talk somehow, some way. But guys, have a great rest of your day. Remember, one pack, one nation, one smooth howl. Enjoy yourselves. I'll be posting my Hamlet monologue up here on the channel at some point between today and tomorrow. Have a great day. Y'all gonna check me out at these here socials. I'll see you all in the next one. And by the way, make sure that you stay tuned for all types of content that I got going on at this here channel.
remember, one pack, one nation, one smooth hell.